This is a rather in-depth review of the Montblanc Meisterstück One Pen Sleeve. If you merely want to see what it does look like, hunting for a solution to safeguard one pen to carry around, this is one of Montblanc's offerings for it. The One Pen Sleeve. Not very special. Put pen in. Done. Actually a rather pricey solution. There are much cheaper solutions out there. If that was your question, then this video is pretty much done. If you're a bit more curious, tag along and let's get in depth. The Montblanc Meisterstück One Pen Sleeve is sold in an ivory white box made out of a glossy thick paper. Inside the ivory box is a product unspecific leather service guide touting Montblanc leather products in 9 languages, a white dust cover containing your one pen sleeve. This one is actually a bit broken in. If you receive it new, it will be flatter than this one. And finally, there is a product card with more bragging about Montblanc leather and a description of the materials used. The right-hand side of the card states the leather outside is full-grain calfskin semi-aniline. The back side states the lining is woven viscose, and the German text adds it's a jacquard lining. Strangely enough, there is no details about the Montblanc thingy on the outside of the case. It is made of black and white cast resin, mounted inside palladium-plated metal. Now, that sounds all snazzy and all that, but what does it actually mean? Let's start with the full-grain calfskin semi-aniline part. Calfskin is the skin of a calf, not a cow. That is important because the structure of calfskin is much softer and has a tighter grain than cow or any other tan products for that matter. Full grain leather refers to hides that have not been sanded, buffed or snuffed, as opposed to top grain or corrected leather to remove imperfections or natural marks on the surface of the hide. In any case, we are dealing with the top layer, the outer skin that is being used. Since the epidermis of an animal, much like our own skin, grows from the inside to the outside is much more durable. The material has the most interlocking fibers and strength on the part that needs it the most, the outside. In order to use the hide of an animal as a durable product, you have to keep it from decomposing, and there's 2 ways: vegetable tanning with tannin, hence the name, or mineral tanning, for instance by using chromium salts. Chrome-tanned leather is what Montblanc uses for its leather products. It was invented in 1858 and the process involves using chromium sulfate and other chromium salts. It delivers a more supple and pliable product than vegetable-tanned leather and does not discolor or lose shape as drastically in water as vegetable-tanned leather. So that explains the full-grain calfskin leather and the tanning process in general. How about that semi-aniline part? Well, pure aniline leather is full grain or top grain leather that is dyed for color through and through, basically by letting it soak into an aniline dye solution for long enough to permeate the material. No color is applied on the outside of the leather. Semi-aniline leather is pure aniline leather that has a small amount of pigment or clear finish coat, thus allowing the natural characteristics of the hide still show through while offering some of the benefits of color consistency and increased wearability. The back of the card says the lining is jacquard woven viscose. First, viscose. Viscose is a semi-synthetic fabric also known as viscose rayon fiber or artificial silk. The use of viscose is declining, mainly because the production is rather tough on the environment. Then, jacquard. Jacquard fabric is woven on a special loom called the jacquard loom after its inventor, Joseph-Marie Jacquard. In 1801, or rather 1801, he invented a mechanical loom controlled by punch cards. That is how jacquard fabric can have complex patterns on them. Now let's gear back to that origin Germany, Austria thing. If Montblanc is referring to the leather itself, that would coincide with other references that state the hide stem from cows living in the southern part of Germany, and according to this tag, they apparently roam the border. My Sienna pen pouch says made in Germany, but I have also seen cases with made in Spain. This one pen sleeve does not say where it is made. Assuming it is Germany, then that still is a mystery. Montblanc has produced leather goods in Germany since the 20s of the past century. In 1992, Montblanc acquired the German leather goods company Sega and began selling more. The address for its operations was Heinrich Krummstraße 10 in Offenbach am Main. Privacy regulations make it difficult for Google to send Street View cars through the neighborhood, but it seems that someone other is currently producing flags at this address. In March 2009, Montblanc announced to transfer leather production to Florence, and an investor bought the equipment and the old brand name to reboot the German production facility as Carl Seeger Lederwarenmanufaktur GmbH. So if there is no leather factory in Germany, why does it say Origin Germany? Or should it say Made in Italy? As I said, in 2009, Montblanc announced to set up a leather workshop in Florence. And when I say leather workshop, I actually mean paletteria, because that is what the Italians call it. And if Montblanc says Florence, they actually mean Scandicci, since their paletteria is there, at the Via della Nazione Unite. But surely then this pen would have stated Made in Italy. Or is it new old stock from the days a factory was still operating in Germany? Well, maybe there's still a secret paletteria in Offenbach am Main. So you made it nearly to the end of this video, and I guess you are really interested in this product. So is it worth it? Well, it is a nice product, but at a rather hefty price point. There are quite a few second-hand offerings for it, but they are usually for fake pen sleeves. I really should make a video about that. For now, it would suffice to say that the original has stitching that goes all around the open-ended side to be able to secure the inner lining. The fake ones don't have a lining, so don't have stitching that goes around the top. Also, genuine pen sleeves have this washing label inside with the Montblanc logo and a hologram. I've seen people claim the inner lining should scratch their pens. And that would really surprise me unless you took a pen sleeve to the beach and modeled sandcastles with it. If cellophane doesn't scratch a pen, the pen sleeve won't scratch it either. The One Pen Sleeve has edges with a very crisp and well-defined finish and is easy to operate. I would not use it for a Montblanc 149 since that is a very tight fit, but the 146 and everything smaller than that fits nicely, including the Montblanc M. What remains is, would I buy it again? No, I don't think so. For what it is, even with the Montblanc tax included, indeed a rather hefty price point, and there are very, very decent solutions other than this One Pen Sleeve.